Hello, all my friends. Today's September 8th, 2017, and this is vlog number 4. I tried to get on earlier, but just about the time I start to get on the computer, one of my neighbors came over and asked if I wanted to go with her to the bread store. And I'm like, yes, because I can get the bread I eat so much cheaper there. So I just now got home about 10 minutes ago, and so here I am. So I got a lot to talk about, so let's get started. What I've been doing, one of my biggest problems is still trying to figure out how to organize my craft room. I know what I want to do. I know how kind of what I want to do things. It's just that everything is put there, and there's no place for me to put it to redo it. And I've been trying to figure out what I'm going to do in order to do it. I tried thinking, okay, what if I, take the stuff off the shelves and I'll put it on my bed or this or that, and comes out, I can't walk that much. I tried that once already, and I just about fell. So that doesn't work, not really. The only thing I can think of is maybe getting some boxes and label them like paper or paper crafts, polymer clay, general, or whatever, and go from there and see what happens. So I don't know. I may order some boxes from the post office. I hate that thought. But the one good thing is, once I'm done with the boxes, I can break them down and turn them into chipboard and all that. So it's just a matter of figuring out how to do it. Now, one of the other things is, a few days ago, I opened up the door to my apartment to go out, to go someplace, and sitting in the area of what we call our giveaway area was this table that's about 4 feet high, 3 to 4 feet high. And I told my caregiver, I go, that is perfect to put here in this corner so that I can put like a small Halloween, like a haunted house there, and a pumpkin. Or at Christmas time, I can put the tree and the snowman family and all that. It's perfect. So we brought it in the house. So now we got to do something about the corner. Get the things that are in the corner, get them taken care of, and then we can put the table there permanently. Tuesday, I went to my oldest daughter's house or apartment to spend the day with her, and we watched some movies and all that. Let's see, we watched Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Loved it. It was funny. And we also watched the new Magnificent 7. I don't like the way it ended. I like it. I like the movie a lot, but I don't like the way it ended. That was too sad. And then we also watched a couple of episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that. And she made chili. My problem wasn't the chili, it was how much iced tea I drank. I drank way too much iced tea. I was going to the bathroom almost every 30 minutes. So, can't do that anymore. So, and then something else I've been doing is I started working on the spell books. I made a tea solution. And I took one book and I opened it up and I kept spraying the pages and everything. And it really, as strong as I made this, I took 6 bags of tea, and it's not that much water. Yes, and I brewed it for a long time. Yeah, I think it would have been, no, didn't do a darn thing except just get the pages wet. So I thought, well, let's try this. Let's keep the book. And when you close the book, when it closed it used to close like this, now it kind of closes like that. It's kind of open. But I thought I can work with that. So I got another book. So I tried spraying the outside, just the outside edges of the paper of the book. And it still didn't dye it. So I thought, okay, that's not working. So I did a little research. I went on YouTube and I found that a lot of people that used actual books and they wanted to stay closed, some of them took watered down paint, like dark gray, dark gray, or dark brown, or even black, but watered down, and put it on the edges of the book, the paper part, and it looked good. And I thought, you know what, that I'm going to do that. And then I started kind of looking at other ways. People were doing these books, and I noticed there's a lot of controversy about what's better to use, paper towels or tissue. One thing I did notice, some of the people that use tissue paper, which is my choice, they covered the book with Mod Podge or the glue mixture, crumpled up the newspaper, or not newspaper, the tissue paper, uncrumpled it to a certain point, and just put it down. So you get all the ridges and everything. And then they lightly patted it with the paintbrush or the sponge brush to get it more down and everything. Those that used paper towels, when they said, well, we tried, this is what happened when we tried tissue, they're rough with the tissue paper. And yes, when it gets wet, it's going to tear and everything. So I don't think they realize you need to kind of be a little gentle. You can still get the same effect, just got to be a little gentle when you're doing it and everything. So right now I have 2 books that tomorrow morning, the first thing, or tonight, I may do it tonight. One book is not going to get any tissue paper tonight. I'm painting it. In fact, it's the one that the pages are all dried, all with it wet and everything. I'm painting that book a dark brown. The other book, I'm going to do a glue mixture and do the tissue paper. And then go get started with them and all that. Something else I'm started to do is I saw this years and years and years ago at a craft fair. And I fell in love with the whole thing, the way this lady did it. So I decided this year I want to do it too. So I don't know if you can see it. They're wooden spoons and forks and things like that. And what I'm doing is I'm drawing faces on, let's see, like this one here will be a ghost. This here is a mummy with all the wrappings and everything. This one here I am drawing is a cat, and it'll even have ears, and I'll glue on some whiskers. This will be a vampire. This one is Frankenstein. This one, I believe, is a witch. It's a witch. Yeah, and I'll have a hat for her. And this one, I may make him a witch. Make it a witch also, with no hat, just spiky hair type thing. And I have some more spoons I want to do to make some more like pumpkins and ghosts and things. So that's something else I'm going to be painting on starting this weekend and everything. What I also need to do is, like I said, I've been trying to organize my craft room. Something else I need to organize is my movies. I think, as I've told you, what I live in is 650 square foot apartment. So that's not a lot of room. I mean, it's big for me. It's big, but it doesn't give you a lot of room. So it's not like I can have shelves and shelves of movies, of DVDs. If you think about it, those DVD cases and everything, they take a lot of room. And I have over 650 movies. And that's not counting the TV series and everything. So what I've done is I've put them in what they call CD binders. One binder holds 450 discs, and the other binder, I believe, holds about 400. And one's totally full. One is halfway full. Then I have a third binder that is all my my TV series, and it's just about full. And I still have a few TV series that aren't in there. So, but the problem is I've gotten movies And I've gotten them on the computer. I've written down on the computer what I have, but I don't have them in the notebook. And it is a little bit tedious to get these in order because I do have them in ABC order. And I do that so I know where what I want is. So it's like I thought to myself, I've got to get these organized. I have got to get them organized to where, one, my discs don't get scratched or anything, and two, I don't let anybody, except for my youngest daughter, Raina, I don't let anybody borrow my movies. But I want to know what I have and where they are. So this week, I don't know when, but before I talk to you again next Friday, I will have all my movies in order in those notebooks. So we'll see what happens. I mean, I'll get it done. But now today, I went to Walmart. Walmart has started their layaways, and I wanted to go put some things in layaway, and I needed to go pick up cat food and cat litter and some bags and treats and all that. And originally I wanted to buy 2 Cabbage Patch dolls for me. They have every kind of baby dolls, not that kind that I like. They have small selection of Barbie dolls, very small, big selection of Chopkins. Anyway, they didn't have any Cabbage Patch dolls. I know they are not as popular, but I do like Cabbage Patch dolls. But they did have some 18-inch dolls. So I found 3 that I like. And I had the temporary caregiver there with me. Now, I'll tell you more about her later. But I wanted dolls that had longer hair. So I got, let's see, one's brunette, one's got black hair, one's got kind of a blondish hair. So, and then I bought a case of dominoes, you know, the big dominoes, not the little ones like I have already, but the big ones. So I'll have some. I won't be able to do anything for them this year, but I'll have some ornaments made and pendants made for next year. Then I also bought a lot of movies. Like I said, my Walmart is really pitiful right now when it comes to certain. Even the movie selections was lousy. See, usually when I buy movies from Walmart, I always do it online, and they always have a selection. But I can't go online and put them on layaway. And so I did get season 2 of Game of Thrones. I put in, I forget what movies I've put in. I put in quite a few. And my layaway came up to almost $270. And I'm like, okay, you know, that works. But it was like, I forget exactly, I'll say it was $271.65. And she says you have to put in at least $28, the 10% of what my total was. And I said, what was the total again? And she told me, and I said, okay. So I rounded it up to the nearest amount, which was 30. And then I added the cents. And I said, I hate cents. I don't have any cents myself, so I hate cents. And it made her laugh. I mean, the lady was really nice and everything. So we got that done. But the problem was the card, my credit card that I wanted to use, wouldn't work. It kept asking for a PIN. And I've never gotten a PIN for this card. And I'm just like, people. So I had to end up using a credit card that I use for the girls. I have one credit card that is strictly for the girls. That's what I buy their cat food, their cat litter, their stuff, and I pay it off every month. But I'm also still paying on medical bills that I had that incurred me using the card on them. But so anyway, I had to use that card to pay for my layaway. So then I went to the checkout to pay for this other stuff that I had. And I tried using the other card, and it still wanted a PIN. And she did everything. She tried everything trying to get that thing to work, and it would not work. And so I said, would you? I said, I guess I'm. She goes, why don't you call your credit card company and see what's going on? I said, do you mind? And she had put a thing up there that said the lane was closed. So I called up, found out they want you to create a PIN because now, to protect us, and I know people would think, oh, this is ridiculous, but to protect us in case somebody steals our card, they can't use it. They have to put the PIN in. Okay, understand. And it protects us from people who steal the card. So I created my PIN, and it said you can use your card right away. So I did, I was able to buy everything. It just kind of really stumped me that this happened. So but the lady there was so patient and so nice and so understanding that I had to make a comment to the manager about her, because most of them would say, well, come back when you can use your card, or come back, can you use this or do something else. And she waited until all it was done so that I could pay for my items. So I liked her. I liked her a lot. So we go out to the car, and I asked the caregiver, do you want to put this in the trunk? And she looked at it and she goes, no, we can put it in the back seat. So I thought, well, no one's going to want to steal cat food and cat litter. Not really. So, because I told her we still had to go to Winco. So we put it in the back seat, and I told her, I said, can you please put the chair back in the building? I watched her. Do you know what she rode it? Now, this woman is barely 4'10". I don't think she weighs more than 90 pounds. And she is my pencil. She is as skinny as my pencil. And she rode that into the store, and she left it right there at the door. And I'm just like, the thing is right there. You could have ridden it like 15 feet at least to put it where the rest of them are, and you leave it at the door. Somewhere another way, she's kind of missing a few, I think. So she comes out, and I told her, I said, yeah, we got to go to Winco. I said, if you go this way, this way, this way, we'll get to Winco. You sure? Yes. So she goes out, and she makes a right-hand turn, goes down the road, and I told her make a right-hand turn, and she wants to get in the left-hand lane. I said, no. I said, you're going to be making a right-hand turn here in in another couple blocks or so. You might as well stay in this lane. And she's just like, I can drive. And I said, I know, but you're going to be switching lanes, too often. You just stay here. And I said, in fact, right here at this signal, make a right-hand turn. Okay. So she turns right. First thing she does is get into the left-hand lane. And I said, okay, at this one street, you're going to make a right-hand turn, and you'll need to get in the left-hand lane after you make your right-hand turn. And I said, it's not that far down there. And she goes, okay. So she's driving, and and I said, the street is right, that next signal up there. Okay. And I'm just thinking, okay, you need to get in the right-hand lane. Get in the right-hand lane, to myself. She almost caused an accident getting in the right-hand lane just before it was time to make the right-hand turn. And I'm just like, oh my God, she's going to kill me. And I said, okay, Winco's going to be on the left side. And sure enough, a block and a half or 2 blocks away was Winco. And she makes a left-hand turn where you're not supposed, you know how they put those left-hand turn lanes, to turn? She goes in the one that goes into our side. And I'm just like, oh, this lady is going to kill me before I get home. So we get to Winco, and she parks. And I told her I need an electric cart. You do? I'm just like, yes. I can't walk around the store. I said, my legs won't put up with it. I said, don't you remember what so-and-so said? That I'm a fall risk, I have balance problems, and I have problems with dizzy spells. Okay. So when we get in the store, there are no electric carts where they usually keep them. And I told her, go down to customer service and see if they have any carts down there. She walks 5 feet and there's a regular grocery cart. Oh, here's a cart. That's not an electric cart. Well, you can use this. Just hold on to this. You won't fall. So I walked down to customer service and she's holding on to this cart. And I wish you could have seen it, because her holding that cart, she looked like a little kid holding this cart. That's how small she is. But there was no electric cars, and there was this one woman in this line, and I walked up and I said, when she's done, can I use that electric cart? And the lady says, the problem is, she says, it's dying. And I'm like, okay, that's fine, And I understand. She was trying to be nice to let me know it was, it was dying. And it probably wouldn't get me around the store. So I'm kind of looking around to see if there's any other electric cars or anybody else checking out with electric carts or anything. And I don't see any. And so I thought, okay. So I'm holding on to the basket and I'm trying, and I've got my list out and I'm trying to find what I need and everything. And I needed olives, and I told her, I said, can you get me a can of black olives that are pitted? And because I have not seen cans that say, unpitted or what, and there was actually jumbo olives that were not pitted. And I'm like, what? But I'm not gonna. And she gets me that, and I said pitted. I specifically said pitted. And she brings me a can that has olives that are not pitted. No, I said pitted. What's that? I said it means that they've taken the seed out. It's the cans next to these. Oh, do you want these? No. So she goes and she puts them down and she gets a can that I want. So anyway, more, in fact, she is the reason of my pet peeves. Like I said, my pet peeves right now is stupid people. I mean, she is. She was so stupid. As I was saying, so we're going on, and I saw some ears of corn, and I picked up this one ear of corn, and what I do, all I do is I don't shuck them. I just open up the top to see what the top looks like. If the top is bad, I won't buy it because that means more of it can be bad. And I opened up this one thing of corn, and it had this whole area about this big that was all bad. And and I looked a little more because something looked, and there was worms. I mean, so I put it off in a corner. She picks it up and she goes, here, this is a good one. And I'm like, no, I looked at that. That's got worms in it. And she goes, oh no, she says, don't worry, you can cut that off. No, I'm not. So I found, I found 3 ears of corn that I wanted, and I put them in my bag. And she goes to tie a knot in my bag. I'm sorry, I hate it when people put knots in these bags. I have to tear the bags in to get my stuff out, and I don't want to be tearing the bags. Just leave the darn bags alone. So I told her, don't be tying knots. Just leave it alone. It's fine. They'll come out. No, they won't. They're fine. So then a little later, they had watermelon for $2.98, but they had watermelon for $2.98. So I found one that I liked, and I picked it up, and I put it in the basket. And then I went, and I'm doing my grocery shopping, and I went into the bulk aisle because I wanted to get spaghetti. I like buying spaghetti in the bulk aisle because I can get the amount that I want. So if I don't want a whole lot, I can get what I need. And that's all I wanted was a little bit. And she goes, it's cheaper if you buy it over there. And I said, no. I said, and I buy more spaghetti than I need. Well, give it to somebody else. And I said, No. I said, I'll buy from here. This is where I want to buy it. Okay. Oh, and that was the other thing. When I told her I wanted to go to Wenco, she kept saying, well, why don't I just take you to Fred Meyer's? Because it's right across the street from where I live. No, Fred Meyer's costs too much. Yeah, but it's right there. We can drive back, don't have to drive that far. I don't want to go to Fred Meyer's. I'm not spending $50 for $30. And she just like, I don't know why I like Fred Meyer's. I said, fine, you shop at Fred Meyer's, but I'm not shopping there. So anyway, like I said, I got my spaghetti and I went to the bulk candy area. One of the things I like to do when I am painting or when I'm working on something that, certain things, I like to have a sucker in my mouth. Suckers are anywhere between 60 to 100 calories. They're a great snack. They're perfect for me to have. Tootsie Roll has a flavor sucker that's pomegranate, and I like the pomegranate, and I also like the chocolate. So I picked up 6 chocolate suckers, and I found 6 pomegranate suckers. And she says, why don't you just pick up suckers? And I said, because I don't want any flavor. I want chocolate and pomegranate. I don't understand the difference. It's the flavors that I want, period. Okay. She just couldn't understand anything that I was doing. And she shouldn't have been questioning it anyway. So then I picked up a little thing of hummus so I could put on my bagels. And I went to go get milk. And I said, I need to get 2% milk. And she just reached in there. And I said, did you look at the date? What date? Make sure you have one that's dated the furthest back. And she goes, that doesn't matter. Yeah, it does. I said, I want one that's not going to go bad so quick. Well, sure enough, she picked one. The date on it was the 12th of this month. And there was ones in there that have the 23rd or the 22nd. Anyway, further back. And she says, you're too picky about your groceries. I'm not picky. I said, this is what I want. Okay, and I thought, well, then maybe I am picky, but this is what I want. So then, I found some meat. Somebody mislabeled these pork chops. It was supposed to be $3.29 a pound. And somebody labeled these 2 packages for $1.29. So they were only like $1.30, $1.40 something. So I grabbed those 2. I can't turn a deal down on boneless pork chops when they're that cheap. So I grabbed, and they were dated for several days ahead. So it was a mistake that somebody had made. So I grabbed them and I put them in bags and I put them in the basket. And I went to the aisle because I needed water for my CPAP machine. And I need drinking water. And it turns out they were having a sale on their drinking water. And there was this lady there, and I was trying to figure out how much the Wenco water was, and she says they're $1.98. And she says, and here, with this, if you get up to 4, they're $1 a piece, or $1 off. Really? Yeah. So I wanted 3 of them. And I told her, can you get 3 and put them in the basket? She couldn't even pick up a 24 case of water. And I'm just like, I'm the one that's weak. I'm the one with the arthritis. And I just picked them up and put them in the basket. And she's just like, she goes, those are so heavy. I go, they're not heavy. I go, they're not that heavy. I said, I can pick them up, and I have arthritis. I have degenerative arthritis and rheumatoid arthritis. I said, maybe you, and I said, if you're going to do this kind of job, you need to put some muscle on. Because I said, what if I fell? Oh, I'd call 911. And what if I said all I needed was some help up? I'd call 911. I don't help anybody up. She goes, if you fell, I don't help anybody up. Okay. So we get to the checkout, And I told the guy I had a watermelon and 3 things of water. So, and I gave him the paper, so I had my dollar off. So I got my waters for 98 cents a piece. And she wouldn't even unload my cart. I had to unload my own cart. So this pissed me off. I'm just like, what good is this? Was she? Oh, I forgot. We went down the pet aisle because I wanted to see if they had any other the box can 9 Lives, the ones that I buy. And she goes, oh yeah, look here. Well, it's the 36 ones, but it's a mixture of pate and the chunks. All I want is the chunks. I got plenty of pate, and I said, no, that has pate in it. So I said, I have plenty of pate. I said, what I need is the ones with chunks. What difference does that make? I said, I give the girls pate in the morning, and I give them chunks in the evening. That's the way I feed them. That's the way it's going to be. She goes, that's ridiculous. It's damn cat food. And I'm like, this is, oh, and then she says, it'd be cheaper if you feed them dry food. And I said, no. And she wanted me to get a no-name brand cat food. And I said, no. I said, Penelope has a very weak stomach. We have to keep her on the same diet. And I said, the only thing she can eat is 9 Lives. Well, I'm sure if you started feeding her this, she'd get used to it. She was on dry cat food for a year. No, she did not get used to it. I was cleaning up throw up 3 times a day. Well, then I would get rid of her. I'm not getting rid of my baby. She goes, well, if you have an animal that causes all this problems, then you don't need it. She goes, they're not good for it. I mean, oh God, it's. So like I said, we checked out. I had to take out my own groceries. And I am just thinking to myself, I said, this woman is so stupid and so idiot that I don't see how she is keeping this job. So when it came time, when we were going to unload the groceries, she decided she had to put them in the trunk. This nice lady picked up the water and put it in the trunk. And she picked up the watermelon and put it in the trunk. And she goes, can you get the rest? And I said, oh yeah, we can. And she started tying knots. And I said, Judy, don't tie knots in my bags. I don't want to rip the bags. Well, everything will fall out. No, it won't. Just and I told her when she was packing the bags in the store, not to put all the jars in one bag. And what did she do? All 4 things that I bought in jars, she put in one bag. So when she went to go put it in the basket, I grabbed it and put it in another bag, and then I put it in another bag. So at least this way, it wasn't going to break apart, all at once. So when it came time to come home, she doesn't know where she sits there, and she wants this lady. There's a lady trying to get out of the parking lot. I could tell, wanted in the left-hand lane. She needed to turn right, but she wanted in the left-hand lane. And my caregiver, she kept saying, come on, there's an opening there. And I said, I think she wants the left-hand lane, and she's waiting for them to move. And she goes, so she can get over there as soon as she gets out. No, there's no space to it. I guess she doesn't want to cut in front of people. And she goes, she's blocking us from getting out. I said, so it's patience. It's not like we're in this humongous hurry. And she goes, this is ridiculous. She goes, people like that should not have a driver's license. And I'm like, you are the most impatient person I have ever met in a long time. So sure enough, the line started moving, and this one little sports car stopped to let her get in the left-hand lane. She turned and got into the right-hand lane. She no sooner got in the right-hand lane and literally almost caused an accident to get into the left-hand lane. And I am just like, God save me, God save me, because I'm thinking I'm not going to make it home. So we finally, and she gets in the right-hand lane because she knows she has to turn. She now knows she has to turn right to get into my apartment building. And I said, you're going to have to get in the left-hand lane until we cross Orchard. I said, if you stay in this lane, and cross it. If there's a cop around, you'll get a ticket. Oh, I won't get a ticket. No, she didn't get a ticket, but she anyway, when we got here, I said, if you park, and it was already like 10 minutes to 1, which is almost time for her to leave. So, when I told her, I said, if you park right there in front, I said, I'll go in and I will go get a basket. And I said, you can load all the groceries into the basket and bring it up. And she just like, okay. And what does she do? I get out. I went to go get the basket. I turn around and she's behind me with 2 bags in her hand. I said, I told you I'm getting the basket. You don't need to carry the bags up there 1 or 2 at a time. And she goes, oh, what, you guys still? And I said, no. I said, there's a store that went out of business and they gave us some baskets so that we wouldn't have to do what you're doing. Oh, well, I'll take these up anyway. So I go upstairs. I ended up having to go upstairs to get a basket. And I went in, got the basket, opened up my door, and kept Penelope from getting out. And she comes in. I said, I said, put the bags of cat food and the cat dish or cat litter right there. And so she takes the basket and down. So I'm sitting there. My legs are killing me. That walk through Winco just totally wore me out, and it didn't do me any good. So I'm sitting there, and I can hear her coming from the elevator to my door. So I go to sit in my wheelchair, and she comes in, and I said, don't bring the basket onto the carpet. You'll have to carry the groceries from there. Oh, no, this is fine. And she literally shoves my furniture away to move this basket so she can put it in the kitchen. And I'm like, I told you not to bring it in. I said, look what you've done to my carpet. I said, now that my carpet is dirty with all the marks from the basket. Oh, those will vacuum up. So she gets the groceries out, what she brought up, because she didn't bring everything up. She gets the groceries out, and the first thing she starts to do is to put, and I said, I will put the groceries away. Oh, I'll do it. No, I will put my groceries away. Well, I'm supposed to help you, and I'm about ready to say, well, you haven't helped me much yet. But I said, no. I said, it's one of the things I like doing. I'll put my own groceries away. I didn't want her putting my groceries away because I knew she wouldn't put anything away that we're supposed to. So when I was looking at the bags and everything, I noticed I still had 1 bag. I still had 2 bags from Winco, a bag of cat litter still to come up, the 3 things of water, and the watermelon. So I'm waiting for her to come up. Oh, and 2 of my bottles of distilled water. So I got my milk in the refrigerator. I got my eggs in the refrigerator. And I got my pork chops into the refrigerator until I can put them in the freezer. I'll do all that tonight. And I am sitting there, and she comes up, and I looked at the watermelon, and it's in pieces. What happened to my watermelon? When I took it out of the car, I dropped it. I go, you what? She goes, I dropped the watermelon. And you can see where it landed in the dirt, and she still brings it up. And I'm like, if you couldn't pick it up, you could have come up here and told me, I can't pick up the watermelon. And I could have gone down, picked it up, and put it in the basket. Oh, I thought I could. I said, you couldn't pick it up out of the basket at the store. You couldn't pick it up out of the basket to put it in your trunk. What made you think you could take it out of the car trunk and put it in the basket? Well, you're not. And I said, I would have done it. I said, one way or another, I would have gotten it into the basket without dropping it. So now my watermelon's no good because it's filthy. I mean, it was in the ground, and I mean the meaty part was in the ground. So I had to throw my watermelon out. Oh, that was the other thing I bought. That was grapes. And she kept saying, you ought to get the purple grape, the red grapes. They're better. No, I want green grapes. Well, you really ought to get the red grapes. I want the green grapes. So anyway, there's a paper that they have to fill out at the end of each shift. What they did, and then how many hours they worked and all that. And you start on this side and you mark it down and then you go on. And what does she do? She went to this side and the bottom. Why'd you go over here? Oh, I just decided I wanted to do it over there. I said, well, he told you, look at this, he even put an X where you're supposed to do it. I said, right there, there's your hours, right there. Why didn't you finish filling that out? And she goes, I didn't want to do it over there. Okay. So I signed it, and I said, before you leave, I said, you need to do something about my carpet. I said, I told you not to bring that basket on my carpet, and now look at my carpet. Do you have a broom? Yes, it's in the bathroom by the cat litter. So she goes in there, and she kind of lightly, she's real lightly sweeping it. And then her phone goes off. Oh, it's 1 o'clock, I have to go. And she puts the broom in the bathroom, or in the hallway, you know, where my door is, a foyer. And I'll nice day, see it, you know, see, or nice, or whatever, and walked out the door, leaving the mess. And I am just, okay, she's not coming back. So about 20 minutes later, the agency calls me. Hi, Beverly. So how were things today with so-and-so? If that woman steps foot in my apartment one more time, I said, I'm throwing her out. Why? What happened? And I told him everything. And I said, she destroyed my watermelon. I said, instead of coming up here and telling me she couldn't pick it up, she dropped it. She tried to get out of trunk and dropped it. And and something I forgot to tell you. One of the people that lives downstairs that watched her doing all she did said that the basket was up on the sidewalk. Instead of by the car, she had it up on the sidewalk. And she dropped it, carrying it from her trunk to the basket on the sidewalk. And I said, and I told them all, I said, she did not do anything to help me get my electric card at Walmart. I said, I told her I need an electric card at Winkle. And all she said, well, here, use this. You can walk. After you've told her I have balance issues, dizziness, you know, I'm a fall risk. Oh. And he goes, really? He says, no one said anything like that. And I said, that's probably because she's never taken anybody to the store or anything. I said, she was upset because I didn't have a car. And she goes, he says, I told her. Didn't I tell her you didn't have a car? I heard you tell her, but apparently she wasn't listening to anything you told her. Okay, well, he says, so-and-so should be your caregiver now starting Monday. He says, I think he says, I think her other two clients are willing to go different hours so that she can come when you need her. And then, and all that and everything. And I'm like, okay. I said, I'll see her Monday. And the woman, and the girl he's talking about, I like her. She's a good hard worker. She does exactly what I want. She's taken me to the store. She's the one that did everything for, you know, she got the cart for me. She brought it to me. She took it back. She put it back where it belonged. I mean, she's a good worker. So I don't know why I'm having so many problems trying to find a good care. Hopefully I have one. I will find out Monday when I get to have her. And then we'll go from there. But I know this. I am changing my shopping days from Friday to a different day. Because now, again, I have no one to dice and cut the food I need for the weekend. Or to cook the meals I need for the weekend. Which means I'm stuck having to do it. Which means I am in trouble when it comes to doing something like that. Because I get awfully tired. But she didn't listen. I swear she must be partially deaf. Um, I'm sorry, I get really irritable around stupid people. I get irritable around lazy people. And this is what this woman was. I mean, I've told her 3 times, do not bring the cart on my carpet. Oh, that's fine. So, and then to tell me that my cats aren't worth what I do. Yeah. Oh, and that was the other thing I told him. I said, yeah. I said, when I was looking at the cat food and buying cat food, she said that it was ridiculous that I was paying how much money I was paying. That they're not. It's the people that buy, you don't spend that kind of money. They're just cats. And he goes, oh, no, 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 no. He says, they are not just cats. He says, our pets are our companions, they're our friends. That, they give us unconditional love. And I said, well, somebody forgot to tell her that. So, um, okay, cool. As I said, I probably will never see her again. I will tell you this, if they ever have her come and do Tim, I'm not having her taking me to the store. And I'm going to have a video. I'm going to have my camera going, watching her try and make my bed, if she makes it the way I want it. Because my bed is taller than her, or almost as tall as her. And this is going to be hilarious watching her make my bed if she ever comes back. So, enough of that. As I said, I'm working on the books and the bottles. I bought a can of black matte spray paint. Several videos that I watched, they sprayed their bottles and jars with this black spray paint. So I thought, well, I'm going to try that on a few bottles to see how it works, and do that and everything. I also bought some twine to put designs on the bottles and the jars and everything. The only thing I need to do right now is make the labels that I want and everything. I also have to make the labels for the books. I'll have to go Monday. The girl that I have coming Monday, she told me that she would take me to Michael's and Office Depot so I can get everything printed out. So I want to make sure I have it all done so that we can get that done and everything. Tuesday, I am going over to my daughter's house, my oldest daughter's house again. And I think I'll be making dinner this time. We'll have something with chicken. Yeah, we'll have something with chicken. And we're going to probably watch movies, but one of the things I realized, I was taking a cross-stitch project over there, but I can't see in her apartment. She has a light, but the light is still really dim-like, and I couldn't see, so I thought, well, I'm going to take a plastic canvas project. At least with that, I can see what, where the holes and everything go. Also, one of the other things I'm am doing is, as I said once before, I bought those small flower pots. They're only about that tall or anything. And I think what I'm going to do is that when I go to start painting on the bottles and things, I'm going to get what I need to paint the ghosts, the pumpkins, and ones for candy corn. If I can get to the boxes, I'm going to also try and paint some of the bigger ones. I think that's something I might want to do, is maybe get one of the bigger ones to put these in it. But yeah, I figured try and get some painting done of a lot of the wooden stuff and everything. 'Cause it doesn't take me long to paint, and it's it's decorations that I can get done and get them all set aside and spend more time on the. Come on, yes, my little Penelope. This is the one that's not worth all the trouble and the expense I go through. Now you tell me. This one here knows when I'm upset and a little depressed and all that. And look at this. She comes up here, and I wish you could hear her. She's got this broken purr, and it's just as sweet as can be. And this is what she does when she knows I need her and pet on her and everything. She may not stay here long, let's see, but she lets me know, it's okay, Mommy. I love you. So, yeah. So no one can tell me that she's not worth. Yeah, I found out, or I was figuring out, I spend about $75 a month on my girls with cat food, cat litter, cat treats, and the cat sifter bags. Comes out to about $75 a month. Yeah, I could probably do something else with that money, but they're so special. How can I not? So, um, something else I thought I might do too. I saw this on another vlog, and I wish I could remember his name. It was a guy. Um, I like listening to his vlogs. He's very interesting. He's able to do things I can't do. He does reviews on other YouTubers, and he can show things that he's done, splice them into his vlog and everything. And I have no way of editing my vlogs, my videos to do that. So until I can get a program to do that, and I found out one program I do like, I'm looking at about $100, $150 for it. So I'll have to wait and see what happens. But anyway, one of the things that he does is what he calls his ideas. And I thought I like that because I've got ideas that I write down all the time. One of the ideas, as I said, is I found this table, and I want to put it in the corner of the foyer to put decor on it, and everything. But it's got that white, oh, what do you call it? Formica, I guess it's called. Anyway, it peels off. And yeah, I'm finding it's kind of like a cheap wood underneath. And I was saying something to my daughter and son-in-law, and he says, I'll see if I can get my dad's hand sander, let you borrow it. You'll have to buy sandpaper. But he says you can take all that stuff off, sand it, and then paint it. And he would want me to stain it. He loves good wood. But he thinks it's that cheap type of wood that's like MDF or something. And he says, paint it the way you want to and all that. I think what I might do is still paint it either white or black, because whatever holiday I'm doing or whatever, I'll put a cloth over it. So, that's one idea. I don't know. I have different ideas for that table that I can do. I also saw on YouTube a person make a journal using envelopes, and I thought I'd like to try that. It didn't seem that hard. And I also seen people making journals using paper bags. I've seen people making journals using cards and different things. And I thought, God, I have so many pictures. I would love to, and like when I went to the fair, I have all these pictures and the souvenirs. It would be nice if I made like a small journal to put those in to have. So that's something else I thought I might want to try. And then something else I saw is that somebody had mentioned, and I think I said this a little earlier. They said to organize my craft room, they said go get boxes. And like I said, I thought about ordering the post office boxes, large priority mail boxes. The ones are like 12 by 12. Put them all together. You get 10 in a case. Put them together. Write down what that particular set of things are, like, paper, craft group, polymer clay, beading, pencils, markers, and pens, and all that and everything. Then figure out, when you see everything separated and all in their own little groups, then go from there and see what kind of containers you need. I like that idea. The problem is, where am I going to put these boxes while I make the containers? One of the ladies here, she says, why don't you just put them outside? She says, you are on the side of the building that when it rains, your patio doesn't get wet. And she says, you could put them out there. She says, it's only temporarily. You can put them out there and, make your container, get a container, and then put them away. And once I'm done with the boxes, I figured, cut them down to turn them into chipboard. They're good, sturdy chipboard. I could probably even use the boxes to make the containers. Just make them the size I need. That's another idea. Um, Also, something I realized, as I told you once before, I'm painting these birdhouses to put on my patio. I don't sit out on my patio deck. It's only about 3 feet from the door to the rail. And I'm not one for sitting out there. I like sitting in my recliner and watching the birds and the squirrels and the cats. I can see a lot from my chair. But when I was looking at my birdhouses, and I realized when I was looking for the birdhouses for the ones for Halloween, I have a birdhouse that is a Halloween design. It's got pumpkin, it's got a ghost, and it's got a black cat on it. And I'm like, where's that birdhouse? And I couldn't find, and I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. Here I have the 7 birdhouses I thought I had, and it turns out I don't. Not the one that I had. So one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all the birdhouses. I have my list of the holidays and what birdhouses and everything I need, and then go from there. Put them in all their piles, and then if I have to, as much as I hate to, use plastic bags to keep the birdhouses in and tag them with what they're for, and go from there. Or use the boxes. But then, no, I thought I can use the boxes, but they're going to be used to organize my room. Anyway, but something, keep them in something until I can get them painted. One way or another, at least it gets them organized. So, one of the things is, one of the birdhouses that I had designated just for Christmas because of the design, I painted it for Halloween. So I had to totally repaint it white so that I can use it for Christmas, because I wanted it for Christmas because of the way it looks. So that's one of the things why I need to do something about organizing my craft room and organizing all that stuff. The other thing is, and my daughter's the one that said this, she said, Mom, you need to make a craft journal. She says, you have so many crafts to make, or so many projects. We one time when I was putting everything away and she was here helping me, I have, and I'm not saying this to brag, I'm not saying this to, I have either started, or the materials, or the everything, the thing, how you put, the once for 233, 34 projects. Now, it's not to say, like, I want to crochet snowflakes to hang from up there. One snowflake is not one project. Crochet snowflakes is one project. Plastic canvas snowflakes is one project. Birdhouses, one project. So it may be a whole lot of the items, but it's one project. I do have each of the outfits for the Cabbage Patch dolls and the 18-inch dolls. Each one of those is a project, because it will take, it's the way it's done. They're projects. But anyway, she says, you need to make a craft journal. She goes, take a picture of when the before picture. She says, take a picture of while you're making it. Take it, and she says, then when it's all done, take a picture of the finished product. And it's like with my quarter container. I got that finished this week. I finished it last weekend. And you can look on my YouTube, you can see the whole thing. And I've also posted the finished thing on my Facebook page and on several of my craft groups. And one lady goes, it's about time you started posting some of your finished projects. She says, you need to do more of this. And I go, I'm trying. She goes, start. Which she's right. So now I decided, I know this. I'm going to use composition notebooks as my journals, because they're small enough that they don't take up a whole lot of room. Yes, I'll probably end up with like 10 of them by the time I'm done, but I'll have on the outside, I can label, I can have little tags hanging or something, saying, one through this or, you know, whatever. But I am going to, in the order that I'm doing the project, that's how they're going to go in there. Um, so that's something else I'm thinking about doing. One way or another, I do need to keep track of all my projects. My daughter says, "Mom, you can't start any more new ones." And I said, "Well, that won't work." Why? Well, I said I went to Dollar Tree and I bought pumpkins, or I bought skulls, and I'm making candle holders out of them. And I bought some more wood blocks to make ornaments, and I bought some more Jenga blocks to make ornaments, and this. And she's like, "I give up, Mom." She says, "Do you ever stop thinking of ideas?" No. So anyway, yeah, but she's right. I mean, I am working. I'm just not going fast enough. That's why I said I'm going to get a lot of painting done. I can get a lot of the project painting done. I just can't do all the ceramics. I want to get the one set of ghosts done. I have one set of 3 ghosts. I'm going to get them done also this week so that you can see them. I'll post them on my Facebook, and I'll probably post, you know, a finished thing, because I started these when I was still living in California. I couldn't paint while I was living with Rain and Jason. So I want to get them finished, get them sealed, and they're going to go for decor here. I have these 5 ghosts that I want to put up on my air conditioner, since it's not going to run. I don't run it anyway unless this one lady's here. But I don't think I'm going to need to run it during the winter. But I want to put it on top of I want to put them on top of my air conditioner. And then I have these 3 little girls that wear these derby hats. And I'm thinking I might put them like on top of my printer, or who knows, maybe even in my bedroom in the window. But one way or the other, I'm going to have them, get them done. So yeah, I'm going to be busy. I keep saying that. I'm going to be very, very busy. Maybe I'll stay out of there, stay out of the kitchen. That is something else. Oh, God, I went to Walmart, and guess what I forgot? I forgot batteries for my scales. My scales died. The batteries have been in there for 2 years. So, yeah, my scales died. So I haven't been able to weigh myself. But I have been good. I have been good. So I'll have to wait until I can go back to Walmart, Pam, and I'll have to take make sure I have the batteries. I have the batteries, but take them, make sure I have them, and buy new ones, because I like my scales. I also need to buy batteries for my kitchen scales, because they're out of battery. The battery's dead in them, and I want to be able to use them. So let's see. Oh my goodness, I've already been on over an hour. So I think I will stop here. I was going to show you my quarter container, but unfortunately, I left it in the other room, and I can't walk in there right now. You can't see, but right now my feet are in a thing of hot water. I'm in a lot of discomfort with my feet with the walking I've done today. So when I get done here and get everything downloaded, I'm going to go on my back with my feet up in the air. And I have I have some plastic canvas that I've cut out in the yarn. And I'm going to see if I can do a little stitching on that while that, if not, at least watch a movie. So at this point, I will tell everyone goodbye. Everybody be good to each other. Don't be stupid. Think about what you're doing. Hit the like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button and ring my bell. Whatever, all that stuff. At least hit the like button. And I will see you again next week. I'm doing good. I'm getting on here every Friday. So I will see you all next week, if not sooner. Because like I said, I'm going to try and get a couple craft videos done of the ghost and me working on the bottles and the books. So talk to y'all later. Bye.